Thank you. It's really pleased to be here. They say if you really want to test your public speaking skills, get the slot just after lunch. So I'd like to thank Tai Pawb for that, and also my brilliant team, Mia included, getting me that fantastic slot. So hope you all had a very nice lunch. I know I did. It was really nice actually. So thanks. And but my job here is not to bore you to death about the accomplishments of myself or my company and what we do at Castell, but to follow on with the trend that we're talking about today, which is equality in housing and delivering more much needed homes, which is pretty much the core of what we do. So I would like to explain Castell to yourselves and share with you exactly what we are doing and why all of you here today are either directly or indirectly helping us achieve our mission as well. So here we go. Fantastic annual conference, by the way, really good venue, and hopefully this goes down well, and as long as it does, hit me up for next year as well. Yeah. Yeah. So I've said that, so he doesn't give me much critical feedback now after the fantastic presentation. Best there was. So I've only got 10 minutes with you, so I'm going to keep this really impactful and to the punch. For those that sat here today, no doubt you've all understood what the housing crisis is, social housing crisis. I am sorry, by the way, I've got a tendency to walk and I'm speaking and I just really want to stand on this stage for some reason. I'm tall enough as it is, but now I feel a little bit better. So for those that don't know what I'm talking about, I put 3 key stats on this slide for you. If you walk away from this annual conference with just one thing that I'd like you to remember, is that this is real. There is over 90,000 households on the waiting list in Wales. Not people, but households. In temporary accommodation, there is approximately 11,000 people. And I found out this morning after speaking to somebody quite senior in the space that it's probably more than that. And there's, from when I last read, I didn't put on there, it's about 3,500 children. And it probably is more as well. It's growing all the time. And most importantly, which feeds and compounds onto those 2 stats, is over the past few years, which you've probably, if you didn't hear about the first 2 stats, no doubt you've definitely heard about this one. The private rental sector, rents have shot right up and they've gone up way more than 10%, I believe, but ONS, the statistics, is about 10% over the past few years. And I read a stat somewhere, and I don't know, I couldn't find it again for this presentation. So I've either dreamt it, so take this with a pinch of salt, or it's definitely out there somewhere, and I can't find it. Maybe I'll ask ChatGPT as you said earlier on. No, don't. All right, don't. Okay. But the stat was this. Every time the rental private sector increases by 10%, homelessness increases by 1%, approximately. Now, I don't know how true that is, but what I can see from where I stand is rents have gone up, homelessness has increased, so surely there must be some correlation. Now, I'm not an economist, sorry, I shouldn't have said that word because I can never say it. Finance expert, that's but there's some correlation going on there, and rents definitely have gone up. And Castell Group was born out of that problem because I'm fortunate. I've been in property for as long as I can remember. And when I had a letting agency as I left school, when I was 16, we actually did a lot of work with temporary accommodation and homeless and asylum back then. And we did a bit of work with Gwalia and other charities around that time. But full circle, realised there's just a supply problem as well. We're not building enough homes. And Castell Group was born because I believe everyone deserves a safe and comfortable place to call home. And what I really believe, the bedrock of it all, is that children need a safe environment. They need a safe home as the underlying foundation for them to have the best chance of a successful life. It's investing in housing is not necessarily just about solving the problem for today, but for me, it's an investment in generations. Because if you have children coming through into safe homes, more than likely they're going to do very well in school. They're going to be able to get out of that poverty line. They're going to get better jobs, and they're going to come reinvest themselves back into society, and you get that positive feedback loop. Look, we have a mission of building 300 to 500 homes a year. To be honest with you, the number is not important. We want to build as many homes as possible. We want to be a really strong collaborative partner. Our vision is to be one of the leading, if not the leading, partnership house building company working with housing associations and local authorities. That is what we're set up to do. We have a core team behind Castell that do all the hard work. I do all the speaking, as you can probably tell already. They are behind the hard work and the results that we are getting. But the company has been built by strong individuals. Some are here today. If you get a chance to speak to them, I honestly suggest you do. But we share the same values. That's the whole point about our company. Our values are very clear. We're all about social impact. How can we make the biggest impact for society? Everything we do has got to have a positive impact. We are ambitious. We push the boundaries. We challenge the status quo. Why only build 100 homes? Why can't we build 1,000 homes? Why does it take 2 years to get through the planning system? Why can't we get through there in 4 months like we probably should? But also we do all of that by remaining humble. We are open-minded, keen to learn from other people, other experts. We don't think we know it all. We just know that we can help. So that's our key values of Castell. So just a little bit of stats. We set up we're quite a young company. We set up in 2019, and probably the worst time to do that, to be honest with you. Later end of 2019, just around the corner was COVID. And then we walked straight into ultra high inflation like I've never seen before. And there's people who've been in business a lot longer than me that I've never seen before. But ultimately there's construction companies going under left, right and center. You probably see it every day on the news. And it is really, really a challenging sector. I've witnessed it firsthand. But we have a very strong pipeline. As I speak to you today, we're in construction right now, over 220 homes. That's in all across South Wales. We have a pipeline of over 800 homes with nearly a dozen housing associations and local authorities. And by financial year 2027, we expect to achieve our regional targets. We was also recognised in the Fast Growth 50 Index as being the fastest growing construction company in Wales and the third fastest growing company overall that obviously applied. So that's good for us, but it is a very challenging sector, and we could not do it without our core key partnerships and collaboration. Obviously, Welsh Government is a big supporter of social housing, as we did hear from Julie earlier in terms of the Minister for Climate Change, in terms of the budget for social housing and the focus on social housing rather than affordable housing. That is true in Wales. We are focused on social housing. It is good to see that investment there. It's not really like that in England. All of that is correct. And on the screen, there's a selection of housing associations here that some of you are in this room. We're either on site, we've either delivered homes, or at the very least, we have development opportunities in the pipeline we're already collaborating on and working together. So what I would say is that it is great to work with housing associations and local authorities and help them deliver on their targets too. And I strongly believe that we can achieve more with public and private sector collaboration, not all one or the other. And just to show you the type of things that we've delivered, we are a brownfield specialist company. So that means we focus on sites already in the settlement boundary. They've had some form of previous use before, and we're focused on trying to go and utilize derelict spaces or underutilized assets and breathe a fresh new era of life into them. So here's the development we delivered for Ceredig. Ceredig used to be family housing. Every home we build is a minimum energy performance rating A. They're highly energy efficient. Obviously we've got an aspiration to be net carbon zero as well in due course. But the one good thing about social housing in Wales, I would say as well, is the housing standards you implement. Whilst it causes a disadvantage in one way, because the private sector does not have to build the same standards as social housing, which does cause issues, the homes we do build, they are really spacious. They're designed, with equality in mind. Everything we build is compliant with Lifetime Homes, RNIB, which is the Royal Institute of the Blind. So to make sure that when people come and move in their homes, as they progress through life, they don't have to move. We've also handed over homes for Link Cymru. We did have consent to use these pictures. And one of the best feelings, I'll come back to it, I said it earlier, is when you watch a little child go into their new house, that they've been in temporary accommodation. They've been on the waiting list for over a year, and they finally get the keys to their new home. That they're going to be there for years and years and years to come, hopefully. There's no better feeling than watching a child like that walk into the house and us thinking, we played a part to that. Money can't buy that type of feeling. I've got 2 children, 5 and 3, and I strongly believe that building homes are about investing, social homes as well, are about investing in our next generations. Same thing, really. So you've got a trend. We build high quality homes. I'm very proud of everything we build. We're quite active on social media. Somebody put on one of the comments, because there's trolls all over social media, and there is stigma with social housing, and we posted something that we built. Somebody commented on there saying something along the lines, yeah, but would you live in that? And I actually can stand it. I didn't, obviously the comments, a poor comment, but I actually took that and said, I can honestly say, hand on heart, that everything we build, I, as managing director, would happily live in. I really would. And others feel the same too. We've also done conversions of town centre buildings and regenerated them and brought them back to a new lease of life, that over 150-year-old building, and brought it to energy rating A. And we've built, like I said, apartments with ground floor disabled adapted, rise and fall kitchens, and lots of different things. We're very, very accommodating and creative, and we are just there to help serve who's on the waiting list, working with housing associations to deliver homes for those in need. So I'm going to quickly finish on just a few points. Here's also a selection of developments we've got in our pipeline now that we're currently building. That's in Swansea, 35 homes. And hopefully you can all agree with me that these are quality homes. They look fantastic, in my opinion. This is 18 apartments and 4 commercial units, high quality on the ground floor. So I believe some of those apartments are going to be actually used for supported living as well, which is great. And that's this particular site in the planning system. But most importantly, what I want to talk about today, while I get a chance to share with you my 5 pennies worth, is that there are challenges to deliver, these homes. We have to build more than 20,000 homes over a parliamentary period, in my opinion. But and we've been heavily involved for the past several years. All of the sites that we've delivered and all of the sites in our pipeline and all of the homes that we've handed over and in construction, they are all sites that we've found from our land team. Our head of land and development is here, Devon. So if anybody does have any good opportunities, please let him know. And we've taken them all through working in collaboration with housing associations and local authorities. But one thing we've noticed, by and large, is the planning system is broken. It just is. It takes way too long to get planning consent. On average, it takes us longer to get the legal consent than it does to actually build the homes. It should not be that relationship. You're always going to have a wrong, the relationship is wrong, and it shouldn't be that case. In addition, funding support. Yes, we do need more funding for homes for social housing, for local authorities and housing associations, and obviously for decarbonisation. But importantly, we can't forget that you can give all of the social housing grant and money for that, but if you don't support the supply chain, the contractors who are delivering, nothing's going to get built anyway, or it's going to be really expensive because you're left with such a small pool. And that is the problem. We've had such a terrible past few years, without talking degrading about it, that funding supports withdrew from the market. We've luckily, through creativity, secured funding through private means from basically ultra high net worth investors. But Development Bank of Wales turned us down for being too risky. But we can't get performance bonds, so we're on higher retentions, which stresses cash flow. There's lots and things, I could go on and on and on, but it does need some more funding support for construction companies. And lastly, construction risk. To deliver more homes, we need to work more collaboratively with housing associations, with local authorities, rather than just lumping a fixed all risk price on a contractor, saying, you deliver it, you take all the risk, and if it goes well, good. If it doesn't go well, you've still got to deliver it. Obviously, that's what's happened very recently, and a lot of people have really suffered badly for that. And I think with some easy wins, we could do that. It does require the grant system slightly changing as well. So I'd like to finish very, very finally. Apologies, I think I ran over, but thank you so much. As I did say, all of you here, either directly or indirectly, are helping develop a better future for Wales. You're helping us to deliver more homes, and no doubt you're helping Tai Pawb spread the message. So well done for all of you. And if you do think you can help us in any way, please do not hesitate to reach out. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you again. Thank you.